My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. An anomaly of the sort unique to the internet, a show originally intended for little girls, which became popular with an older generation of male fans. The Brony fandom, as these men called themselves, was one of the biggest fandoms of the 2010s, spawning fan-made music videos, memes, and even fan-made episodes of the show, not one of which was in any way decent. I myself was an avid viewer of Friendship is Magic for many years. I started watching the show on the recommendation of my uncle, who found it through his 6-year-old daughter and quickly became an avid Brony. I was 12 years old at the time, but I stuck with it through my teenage years because, well, it's a good show, you know? Emotionally mature, surprisingly well written, and with an optimism that you just don't get nowadays. Plus, despite all the porn, and there is so much porn, the fandom was really nice, welcoming and friendly, and incredibly prolific. There were a few hiccups, but in general, the Brony fandom thrived for a solid decade off of a truly one-of-a-kind show. The final episode of Friendship is Magic premiered on October 12, 2019. Entitled The Last Problem, it depicted the ceremonial ascension of series protagonist Twilight Sparkle to the position of ruler of Equestria, the magical land where all manner of fairy tale creatures could live together in harmony. Together with the friends she made over the course of the show, Twilight set forth to lead the nation with loyalty, honesty, kindness, laughter, and generosity. It wasn't the best episode of the series by a long shot, but it was a heartfelt send-off that gave the viewer hope for Equestria's future. The Bronies were, naturally, devastated by the loss of their pony waifus, but they didn't need to mourn for very long. Soon after the end of the series, a new show was announced, advertised as a direct sequel to Friendship is Magic. We got our first look at the characters and style of this show on September 24th, 2021, when Netflix released a movie called, appropriately enough, My Little Pony, A New Generation. The movie is fine. Basically a tale about different species of pony coming together to overcome generations of racial prejudice in a metaphor that definitely isn't ham-fisted to the point of meaninglessness. Although it does beg the question of what the hell happened after the last problem to make unicorns, pegasi, and earth ponies all hate each other. Where did immortal god queen Twilight Sparkle disappear to? Such questions aren't addressed in the movie, except by the dead father of new protagonist Sunny Starscout in a flashback.
He defecated through a sunroof!
Apparently, these questions are answered in the comics and the G5 series proper, but I haven't seen either and they aren't the focus of today's analysis. All I want to focus on today is Make Your Mark, a 44-minute special that functions as the series premiere, which aired on May 26, 2022. That special is what we'll be taking a look at today, mainly because it really, really sucks. Alright, let's not put the cart before the needlessly sexual anthropomorphized fan art of the children's show character. My Little Pony Make Your Mark builds off a lot of the groundwork laid by a new generation. So before we begin, let's establish some base-level trivia you're expected to know going in. There's these 5 ponies. The aforementioned Sunny Starscout acts as team leader and occasionally grows wings and a horn, turning into a magical being known as an alicorn. Next up is Izzy, a manic pixie dream girl type. Although the lack of an emotionally repressed sad boy to fix seems to make manic pixie dream girls turn up the mania to 11. There's the Pegasus Princess sisters, Zip and Pip. Zip is an action girl tomboy stereotype and definitely a lesbian, and Pip is a live-streaming social media influencer stereotype, and even more definitely a lesbian. Rounding out the team is token male Hitch, the town sheriff and a lover of animals. Last we saw these 5, they traveled the land collecting 3 gemstones, which, when united, restored magic to the land after its mysterious disappearance. Thus, this special mainly centers around the consequences of reintroducing magic to a world that had been doing without for, presumably, thousands of years. The main conflict of the story centers around rising tensions between Earth ponies, Pegasi, and unicorns as the 3 races try to reintegrate into each other's societies. Because forcing formerly hostile groups of people to live together after a dramatic societal shift usually works out so well. Seriously, I don't know what you people were expecting would happen. 2 weeks ago, Earth ponies were developing anti-unicorn tinfoil hats. Now you expect everybody to just get along? The more the tension grows, the more the magic crystal that gives everybody magic powers starts to fritz out. This leads to more tension as Pegasi start literally dropping out of the sky, off-screen, and Unicorn's levitation powers start to glitch out, making them drop whatever they're holding, also off-screen. Hey, speaking of, can we talk about the animation here? Shit's so lazy you'd think it was a Republican comedian whose entire set consists of transphobic jokes. Everything that changes the scene happens off screen, and the lip flap mocap looks like it was done by a bass on a wall. I get that we can't expect the quality we got in the movie from an animated series, but this is just sad sometimes. The writing's dog shit as well.
Faux show.
Zip's mom talks like they were trying to cram every stereotypical overbearing mother trope into as little time as possible, and at the end of the episode swivels on a dime when her daughter calls her out while the audience pretends it's a character arc. Zip isn't much better. Throughout the special, she keeps almost letting everyone know about the weird glitches she's been seeing, and then arbitrarily deciding against it for no reason except to pad out the runtime.
So, what can I do for you?
I came by because, well, have you seen anything strange lately?
Strange? What do you mean?
Well, I was on the balcony earlier when, you know what? It was probably nothing. Forget it.
Zip, that is the sheriff. His entire job description is maintaining public order. He is your close personal friend. If there is anyone you should be telling about this, it's him. If you guys needed to hit the 44-minute time frame so badly, maybe explore what exactly happened in the less indeterminate amount of time since friendship is magic to make everyone hate each other, and give some justification to your paper-thin racism analogy. Or failing that, you could always make more than one 30-second song! Not that I'm complaining that they made the song so short. It's not a good song. It just seems weird for a 44-minute My Little Pony special to only have one song over the course of its entire runtime. Generation 4 had specials as well, and those at least had 2 or 3 songs in there for the fans. The fact that all we get this time is this predictable spa day bullcrap is kind of insulting. Back to the part of the story I actually care about. While Zip's flying around and watching all these magic glitches take place, the rest of the cast is pretending to prepare for a local holiday. As far as I can tell, Sunny and Izzy are the only ones doing any actual work. Hitch seems to spend all his screen time running from the sheriff's department to Sunny's lighthouse and back to do absolutely nothing at each. Zip is too busy not telling anyone about her investigation to help, and Pip is just kinda there. Like, the one contribution she makes is bringing everyone to her musical spa halfway through the special so we can pretend like this is a musical for 30 seconds. Hitch, buddy, you need some guy friends. Like, toxic masculinity is bullshit and all, but just like one friend who's a dude. Where's Deputy Sprout from the movie? Did he get fired? 'Cause I get it if so, but in his absence, Hitch's sensitive guy character seriously suffers, and he basically just becomes one of the girls. So eventually the holiday rolls around. Everyone's at each other's throats because of the magic glitching out, which ironically makes everyone hate each other more, and the clouds are overcast because somebody on the show staff remembered that happened once in Friendship is Magic. Pegasi are dropping from the sky, unicorns are losing their levitation, earth ponies are apparently getting fused to the ground, and... Whoa! What?! Is that a portal to hell? Is that limbo? What in the name of our good Lady Celestia is that? I thought we'd be dealing with, like, the Wendigos. Remember the Wendigos? They were in G4, and this is the same continuity, right? Ponies fight, the sky gets overcast, then Wendigos. Not a freaking portal to the Nether Realms! Are we gonna address that? Talk about what it was? No? No, we're just going to gloss over it? Alright. Alright, the show's almost over now. Everyone learns the magic of friendship and teamwork, Earth Ponies get this weird nature magic for no reason, Zip becomes the town detective despite being demonstrably terrible at it, and Hitch...
I'm sorry, it's a what?
Hey! That is not what I meant by getting guy friends! Oh, and also we get a look at somebody's edgy Mary Sue, who's apparently going to be our main antagonist for the season. Before we fade to black, though, we get a scene where the characters go over all the questions they still have, which I think is worth addressing.
Like, why does my alicorn magic disappear?
Because it would be too OP if it was always around.
Like, why do I now have the magical power to understand every animal except for this adorable baby dragon?
Because it's a baby, dumbass. It'll be fully capable of speech once it's got the mental maturity to form cogent thoughts.
Where did magic come from?
Friendship! Did you not see the old show? Friendship equals magic. It's a very simple formula. More friendship, more magic.
Who made the crystals anyway?
The show staff when they needed a new MacGuffin.
How did they get separated?
Because the writers needed a plot for the movie.
Why didn't Earth Ponies have magic before?
They did! I'm sorry. I'm getting way too worked up over a children's show. That's what this is, by the way. Make Your Mark is clearly deliberately aimed at a younger demographic than Friendship is Magic. That's not a bad thing, per se. MLP was never aimed at adults. It was the surprising depth and quality writing thanks to Lauren Faust's leadership that turned Friendship is Magic into a phenomenon, and it's the lack of those things that prevents G5 from reaching that same fun-for-the-whole-family vibe. Still, for what it is, it's far from the worst thing you could show your children. The art is bright and colorful, the characters are largely inoffensive, and the plot, while sloppily executed, at least has enough twists and turns to stay somewhat engaging. That being said, I can't help but feel a little let down. This show is very clearly not for the bronies, and we fans of Friendship is Magic won't extract much enjoyment from it. I think it's time to move on. Let the past go. Nothing can last forever, and it's probably time to lay the Brony fandom to rest.